You might be missing these big things that large creators look for in your video editing without even knowing it's the thing you have to do. I have a private place for other video editors, and inside we do something that honestly feels like cheating. Take my guy Skull here. He spotted that one of the biggest YouTube agencies in the world was hiring a new video editor, and they wanted people to send in a short edit using their test footage. Now, instead of just submitting their edit directly like every other editor and their mother does, Skull did something different, and it actually ended with him getting the exact position. So what exactly did he do? Well, like I said, he kind of cheated because he just simply sent me and my community the edit first, like I tell all my students to do, and this is where the magic happens. But what exactly did we change in Skull's edit and many others to make sure that they impress potential clients? Well, let me break it down right now in 3 steps so you can stop making boring, ugly edits that get ignored. Okay, so this first one is a mistake that everyone, even good editors, they often make. So Skull is a good editor. He's very good, in fact. You're going to see that in a bit. But there's a critical mistake that even good editors have a hard time getting right often. And this mistake could have cost Skull this role, getting picked for this role, if we did not change it. So have you ever edited and come to a point where you feel you just need to add something to the video? Well, I bet Skull, he was there at one point, because there's this moment where he says, we've helped businesses get over 1 billion views on YouTube, right? And then he just did what most editors would do, which is like just add the text on screen. And honestly, it works fine. Like, I think it's better than nothing. Now, there's a problem with this. And the problem is it has no feelings. It doesn't feel relatable to the audience, right? It's just numbers or text on the screen. And even if it wasn't there, it wouldn't make that much of a difference, right? Now, this is just the first thing that's like a mistake, and I'm going to show you how to fix it in a bit. But the second one that many people also do when they don't know what to add is, like, for example, here, they say, we assist brands and businesses in knowing exactly what to do to market themselves. So what most people do is, like, they find stock footage, especially like beginners, and they just insert it right where the guy said it, right? And the problem here is that 99% of stock footage, it feels too staged. It's bright and uncinematic scenes, so it also feels very cheap, because it kind of is cheap, right? And it doesn't feel relatable to the audience again. Like, these are people who are showing up in, like, with papers in physical clothing stores. It has nothing to do with YouTube. But here's the problem. So if we look at the client on their website right here, it's a big client, high quality and high value client. And as you can see, they work with some of, like, the biggest YouTubers in the world. So there is a major problem here, and that's that it feels fake and cheap. And that's exactly the opposite of what this agency, like this client, is trying to do, right? So how do you fix this every time you edit? Well, let me show you. So this is what Skull did, and it's genius, right? Instead of using stock footage, he just uses like authentic B-roll, which is like actual real YouTubers, which is the target audience. Super, like it's obvious when you see it like this, right? But it's such a big difference when you do it like this. Like use actual footage, right? Basic numbers as well. Look at this. Instead of having these text and just numbers on screen, right, he used actual graphs and something that feels familiar. Like, for example, this graph right here, the YouTube Studio graph that goes up and down, it's so like relatable to people who are running YouTube. So they will instantly click with that, and it feels authentic. So again, switch to like as real as possible materials as possible, or graphs or something like that. It works way, way better. And if you want to even more quick tricks to make your edits feel real out here, so you don't have to like just use B-roll, here's how. So you use an OBS screen recorder, which you can use to record. It's free, and you can record social media, websites, YouTube videos, whatever you find. It's so powerful. You can use this site called Clip Cafe, which I've used for like a dating YouTuber, when it works very well if you want to like find movie clips, right? Just make sure you don't use it too much, or you'll get like copyrighted. So, but it works very, very well as well, and I recommend using that site. Silhouette B-roll works very well, like darker, like more like authentic B-roll. There is some B-roll that you can use, but you have to be careful, right? For example, these two, like you can even add text in front of it and such, so to make it even better. Or, which is probably the most powerful, use the client's own footage, like use their own screenshots, their own like Instagram page, the videos, like all the videos, like stuff you can find, like, right, the footage. You can even ask for their footage if you want to, right? It makes such a big difference when you do that. Okay, so this second mistake is the one that ruins most editors' chance at getting chosen, and I've seen editors do it over and over again. But before I show you what it is, if you're interested in working with me, getting clients and earning money as a video editor, you can check out the first link in the description below. So this is from the video, and you can see it's actually a very clean edit, right? There's nothing really problematic, and it's also like the guy in the video says, we help brands expand their awareness with social media content, so it makes sense, right? But here's the problem. So their audience is customers who are looking to make long form videos and grow mainly through YouTube, right? So you can see how this is basically the exact opposite, this edit right here. It shows for short form and TikTok and Instagram reels, right? So this is not to their target audience. So I pointed this out to Skull, and did he fix it? Yes, and he made the edit so much better. Try and look at this. So this was before, and this is what he changed to. So you can see now he shows the homepage and he shows like long form videos. And this is perfect because this is the exact place that, their customers want to end up, is on the homepage. And this just shows that he understands who they're talking to, right? And it's so important. So the key takeaway here is big clients, they love people who can nail their audience first try. So do the research, use their existing brand, and pick target audience over flashy edits, right? It's way more important that you speak to their audience. All right, there is one more mistake that you need to avoid. And if you make this, it not only makes your edits look worse, but this mistake actually makes your life way harder as an editor as well. Let me show you. So I did this mistake myself a lot in the beginning too. And that's that, like, you can see here in Skull's video, they went over some brands that they've previously worked with. And the way he showed it, it was just with like having each of the brand in one screen, and he made them appear one at a time, right? But it looks kind of messy and not that high quality. So how were we able to fix this? Well, I just asked myself, what is the easiest way to transform it and make it look good? And the actual answer to a lot of the time to this is make sure to kiss. And not in that way, but like keep it simple, stupid. I think you've heard that before, right? This works so often. And the reason why is because you could make an ultra edited gaming video with all these fancy transitions between shots, like in the entire video, right? And a ton of animation and smooth text and all that. But you can also just do clean cuts that focus on the gameplay and the story with simple but effective zoom effects on like on moments, or maybe like a few subtitles and maybe like a few edits, right? And I promise you, like the video would honestly most of the time do better, unless it's like a very, very specific like video where for like a younger audience. But this is so much more powerful. And you could also make a fancy talking head video with infographics that glow in 3D environments. Like, I just spent so much time on that, right? But honestly, what I've experienced with clients is just when you have a simplistic, like maybe even black and white or something similar, right? Overlay with just clean animations, like you can see here, like Skull did, it just works way more better. Like it just speaks of a higher quality, and also it makes it easier for you to focus and just on what's essential, right? So this is what Skull did. He kept it simple and just focused on one brand at a time. And this allowed him to like do these clean cuts between them, which looks way, way better. So honestly, he did a very, very nice job here. Now, of course, you can make these kind of trial edits for potential clients if you can't find any client and the right kind of clients, right? So if you check out this video, I show you how I find basically infinite YouTube clients. So you can also do that yourself and find the perfect YouTube channel that you want to edit for. So go check that out, and hopefully it'll also help you too. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a future video.